As much as people say they care about it, I don't think they really do. It's a lot of unlearning you have to do to flip on the switch and then all of a sudden care about a whole race's mental health when you worry about your own. So I think once people stop looking at black people as people that just have to push through everything, then they'll start taking it serious. But that's the mentality, just push through it. So I don't think it's taken serious at all. I just think most of the time it's people acting like they care, but they really don't.
Who are you?
I am Adrian Armstrong from Omaha, Nebraska, artist.
Okay. When was the first time you got into art?
First time I got into art, I don't know. I was young. I've always done art. The first time I got serious about it, probably high school.
Who's a favorite artist of yours and why?
One of my favorite artists is Fahamu Peku. I just love what he does with the figure, especially using himself as the figure, but to represent everyone. I love that, and I just love his work. It's beautiful. Kehinde Wiley for sure. Toyin Odutola. Pretty much any portrait artist.
So you got a show coming up. What can you tell us about the show?
So the show is called Highs and Lo-Fis, and it's about depression, my own depression, as well as how many Black and African American people deal with depression. What I can tell you about the show is that it's really cool. There's 9 pieces and 9 songs that correlate with each other, and it just all is about this cohesive theme.
So why did you choose this theme to be the topic of your show?
I chose this theme because I feel like depression is something that affects me and my life pretty often, and I also feel like it from the conversations that I have, it's a really prevalent thing, and I feel like it's not talked a lot about in the Black community. So I feel like this was the perfect opportunity to like kind of start conversations and to like really discuss this topic.
What do you want the general audience to get from this?
I want the general audience to kind of take away a little bit more clarity about their own mental health. I want this to kind of spark that conversation about like, am I okay? Are my friends okay? Is my family okay? That's what I'm hoping for. Got a couple of unfinished pieces. Well, this is the only unfinished piece, but got this one of Ashmore, another self-portrait, and Nipsey, of course. Let's see. And then the fades over here.
Do you think it affects like the African American community more than we could say any other like race, I guess?
I think specifically the African American culture in American society is affected a lot because we have to go through a lot. This country was built on our backs, but it's not for us. And systematically we suffer through that. There's police brutality, there's systematic racism, there's unfair justice systems. There's so many other elements that, kind of hinder us, and like that affects our mental health. And on top of that, with depression kind of being like a taboo, I don't want to say it's a taboo subject, but I definitely don't think people grasp the severity of it. That coupled with what I just said, it's it's kind of a double whammy. So
do you know people close to you with mental illness?
whether they want to believe it or not.
How does it resonate with you? Do you know people close to you with like depression, mental illness, and stuff like that?
On one hand, I feel bad because, you know, I think everybody obviously should have healthy mental health. You know, I want everybody to be happy, but on the other hand, I feel a little bit of relief knowing that I'm not alone.
I guess goes on to my next question. Do you personally have depression?
Yeah.
Can you explain a typical day dealing with it?
I think at the peak, a typical day is me waking up late, probably grabbing a bag of hot Cheetos, eating that, going back to sleep, ignoring all my friends when they ask me to hang out, ignoring calls, just being alone, isolating myself. So a typical day is usually just sleep and eating junk.
Can you explain a bad day with it?
A bad day with depression? I'm more short-tempered, especially if I'm at work. My patience is very limited. But yeah, I usually just get quiet. I try to isolate myself, and I don't joke a lot either, like when it's a bad day.
What keeps you motivated through depression?
It takes a while to be motivated through depression. I think eventually it just takes like me forcing myself to get up and do something, or like people forcing me to do something. But like I said, I want to put emphasis on the fact that it doesn't happen right away. If I'm depressed, I'm going to be depressed for a while, and it's going to be a few days or a few weeks before I'm like, all right, maybe I should take a different approach to my day.
Do you ever feel like your life would be different if you didn't have depression?
Yes, in the sense that I feel like I wouldn't burn as many bridges, or, you know, have as many exes. But who knows?
What's your take on how people deal with like their type of depressions?
I think everyone's different, but I think I mean, I do think the majority of us don't deal with depression in the best way, but I think we all should seek therapy, and I think that for anybody, whether you're happy or sad, I think everybody should do therapy. But I think that we should all strive to find positive and healthy ways to cope with our depression and to manage it, and to also understand what our triggers are. So,
how would you feel if your child had depression? And what would you say to them?
I would just try to, you know, that's a. I mean, honestly, you probably will. They probably will. But, man, I would just try to be there for them and let them know that I understand and they're not alone, and just let them know that they're loved and I'm here for them all, all the time. So.
Do you ever feel neglected knowing you have depression?
Yeah. I feel like neglected, but also I just kind of feel like it's not taken serious sometimes, because people will see you one day happy, smiling, and then they'll see you the next day and just assume you don't really have anything to be sad about. And I feel like in that sense I feel neglected because I don't think people care until something big happens. So
when did you realize you did have it?
I started feeling sadder, like pretty sad. I was an emotional kid, so I was just always told I was emotional, but I always felt sad randomly or just more than usual, in my opinion. I remember having a discussion about it, or trying to, with my mom when I was young. And yeah, I had to be like maybe 9 or something, 9 or 10. And then I was clinically diagnosed when I was 13.
Were you ever afraid to speak up about it before? And if so, why?
I wasn't afraid to speak up about it, but I didn't know, I think I didn't really grasp the severity of it because, I was diagnosed at 13. I didn't know about depression. I knew about being sad, but I didn't know, what all that entailed. So I never spoke up about it because I'm just I'm sad. But the older I got and the more I recognized what this truly was, I was like, well, let me talk about it,
What are some ways that you deal with it?
Trying to get better about it. I've been seeking therapy. But just trying to do things that make me happy and surround myself with people that are positive and make me happy too. I think this is a song me or a beat. But we always loop a jazz sample and just do experimental stuff. But yeah, this is just like a 4-bar loop that we did for 5 minutes.
So how does music fit in with your daily life?
Music is another creative outlet for me. I don't care what anybody says, you can do something you love and still get burnt out of it. And I feel like I needed another way to do stuff creatively other than just drawing. And so I'm around musicians 24/7. So it was bound to happen. Yeah.
What's the motivation for the music that you're making right now?
It's all based off of emotion. The motivation is just to express myself. It's an exciting medium, and I'm just trying to solve it. I'm trying to learn. So.
Who's a figure or dream person that you would love to collab with a track?
Art-wise or music-wise?
Both.
Art-wise, I would love to work with Deborah Roberts. Get at me. Art. Ooh, I would love to do a collab with Takashi Murakami as well. Music-wise, man, there's so many. There's so many in art too, but I'm gonna pick one person for music. I'm gonna say, I gotta do it. I gotta do Kanye. I gotta do it.
What's a song or an album that helps you get through like a bad day?
Wow. Man, lately it's really been Blonde, which is funny because I know people are gonna see this and be like, "Oh, you were hating for so long," but yeah, definitely Blonde right now.
And last question. If you were to meet the young Adrian, I guess 13-year-old Adrian, that realized he just had depression and he's probably going through it the worst right now, what would you tell him?
I just tell him it's gonna be all right. I would just tell him that like there's so many people that care about you, and I know there's gonna be times where you don't feel like that, but you know there's gonna be a moment on your 29th birthday where you get a compilation video that kind of just proves all this hard work is paying off, and that you just staying true and being a positive person and not letting those emotions get the best of you will pay off. So yeah. I mean, I have a lot of personal goals that I just haven't met yet, and that goes back to just me being consistent and me taking the control of personal issues, and not letting those stop me from creating. As far as, I think I've been successful in the sense that like I went to school with so many people that were art majors or artists, and they're not doing it at all. So I feel successful because like I can still say that I'm working every day, or I'm working at this consistently, and that I have goals and working towards those. And I mean, I feel like I'm getting recognized, and I think that I'm successful in the sense that people relate to my work. So, yeah.
After going through these questions, who are you?
Man, I'm just me, man. I'm still figuring it out, but that's like the beauty of life. Who I am today doesn't mean I have to be who I was tomorrow or yesterday, or who I'll be tomorrow. So I'm Adrian, and I'm ever growing.
I said it's beauty in the skies when you get this high. Oh my eyes.